Memorial Healthcare has served the community for over a century and is committed to being your healthcare partner. The main campus is located in Owasso at 826 West King Street, with additional locations in 7 counties throughout mid-Michigan. Services at Memorial Healthcare are provided by people who truly care about their patients, who take pride in making a difference in the life and health of the patients they serve through all phases of life. With a medical staff of over 200 and nearly 1,500 employees, Memorial Healthcare is proudly recognized as the largest employer in Shiawassee County. Whether it's life-saving emergency room care, bringing a baby into the world, or an annual physical, see what Memorial Healthcare has to offer at memorialhealthcare.org or call 989-720-CARE. That's 989-720-2273.
It's time for episode 220 of the 3 Point Podcast, presented by Memorial Healthcare, home of the state-of-the-art Now Community Wellness Center, with pool, workout equipment, track, and a whole lot more. By the way, my sister Jenny is going gung-ho on the weight challenge, so she's there every day, really enjoying the facilities. You know, I'm gonna join, but I think I'm gonna wait till fall or early winter. When you can't really do anything outside, but just a great setup. We'll also have our normal catch up here on this podcast, talk some sports, and we have a fun little game we're going to play. Our other partners include Crow Real Estate and Auction, Nelson House Funeral Homes, Rivals Taphouse and Grille, Success Group Mortgage and Servicing, the Wash of Owasso, and the ALS Association of Michigan. Well, fellas, I'll just real quickly jump in that the most recent catch-up item I have is, hey, my pontoon boat is done. It's in the water. It started right up. And knock on wood, that's one day in. Let's see if it makes it through the summer, right, Jared?
I guess I misunderstood. I thought it already had been in the water. Then it had issues. You had to take it back out, then take it to the mechanic and get it fixed. This was the first time you put it in the water? Why so late?
It's like everything else in this world right now, supply and demand and, getting scheduled for any kind of service work. I'm telling you, man, I've got some landscaping I'm doing here. I got the hot tub on order that's not coming until October. I mean, this country, it's out of whack right now when it comes to getting things quickly.
You need to go full on retirement, not just half retirement, go full retirement so you can go all in on all these extracurriculars you have going on.
You mean these money pits? It cracks me up, man. You already have a pontoon, which is basically throwing money away. Then you decide to order up a hot tub. That's basically the same exact thing, man. You're going to be tossing all your retirement funds, your 401k you got saved up, going right to this hot tub and pontoon.
Well,
I think he's just setting it up so he does not have to leave Lake Manitou. You got the
hot tub, kind of it.
You got the pontoon. You've got your man cave. You're good to go.
In the first year in semi-retirement where I'm still bringing in some coin, now's the time to buy it, man. I don't have to live on my retirement and Social Security and all that stuff, which I haven't even taken yet. So it's all good.
Now that I'm thinking about it, was the hot tub a bit of a, maybe not the smartest purchase, because you always talk about how all these winters, you're going to become I forget what the phrase is. What is it, like a summer bird or something like that?
Snowbird.
Seasonal bird. So I thought you're going to be gone for most winters. So you're going to be sitting in this hot tub at 90-degree heat or what?
No. I mean, we've kind of re-looked at things a little bit. I think with our lifestyle, I don't know if I can stand going to the same place every winter. Let's say go to Naples, Florida, every single winter for 2 or 3 months. I don't think that fits our mode. I think we're going to go and travel all over the place, check different places out, and maybe not go for extended period of time, but we'll take a 4-week break in the wintertime, go somewhere warm, but we're still going to get plenty of winter hot tubbing. So I think we got it figured out.
That is one thing about, I know a lot of snowbirds. Snowbirds go south, for the winter. And, some people love it. That's all they do. And they want to get away from the cold. So they go south. I've always thought of that though. Like if you buy a park model or a trailer or whatever at some resort in Naples or Palm Beach, you're going to the same place every winter. Now, while you'll probably make some friends and, you'll enjoy it and everything, I'm kind of with you. I would want to be like kind of traveling around a little bit. If you want to go out to Arizona, go out to Arizona. If you want to go down to Florida, go to Florida, switch it up. But
I don't know why, something about the going to Naples or going to this specific retirement spot in Florida or wherever, it sounds depressing as hell to me. So I'm kind of glad for that reason that you're not going that route. And it doesn't make sense, everything about it sounds awesome to me. I'd go on this vacation tomorrow. But when you put it in the lens of, oh, you're going to make friends with these old people that are also going there during the winter, and it's like a place like Naples, which doesn't exactly sound like a Miami or at Los Angeles or something. Something about it sounds almost like a cemetery getting ready to spread.
Well, probably when you're 65, you're not really looking to go to South Beach and, go clubbing until 3 in the morning and stuff like that. Maybe you find some people more your speed, but it's also cool to even have that opportunity or those options where you and your wife, you guys can sit there and be like, what do we want to do?
Yeah.
Because, some people are kind of stuck where they are or whatever. So
I think
you're making me, I kind of want to retire at like 50. You're making me like, I might make it till 45 and
it's not bad. It's not bad.
Here, I think I have $1 million idea here that can solve a lot of problems. Matt, you love coming back to Michigan. Ted, you're looking for, summer or winter type getaway. Why don't you guys just like flop houses for a couple of weeks every winter?
So in the winter, why do I get Michigan in the winter though? So I have to go to Michigan in the winter.
Visit family. That's the root of it. It's not that you're going on vacation. You're coming to visit family. That's why.
Yeah.
No, it'd be cool. I'm glad the pontoon though is in the water.
Me too.
We were texting a little earlier, just a little teaser. There may be a potential 3-Point Podcast remote opportunity on the pontoon. We'll see. We don't know. We haven't worked out the logistics, but.
Well, you're both welcome to come, and we'll see if we can pull it off.
Yeah, the technical difficulties will probably be terrible on that thing. The thing would probably stall out for all we know, and we're stranded out there. But hey, that'd make for a good podcast.
I was going to say that would just add to the podcast. I mean, we pulled off you at Faster Horses, so I mean, I think we could probably figure it out.
Yeah, I think we could figure out a pontoon. That's right.
Yeah, but no, I've been, you're in your pontoon, Jared. You're working. It's college baseball, college softball coming down to the wire. So we're super busy at work, but we've also been moving. And I got to tell you, man, moving might be the worst thing in the world. My wife and I both have been like, we don't want to move maybe like ever again. I think we were spoiled though. When I got the job in Connecticut and then when I got the job down in Charlotte. So from Connecticut to Charlotte, ESPN or Disney paid for the move. Come and I think we've talked about this before, but come and pack everything up. You literally don't do a thing, and they move it, take care, wrap it all up, unpack it, all that kind of stuff. While that's very expensive, that is definitely the way to go with moving because man, I am beat. I try and stay fairly active, but man, moving is just it's a different beast. Hasn't helped that it's been like 95 the last 4 days. So,
and the thing with those moving guys, like I had a buddy who did it for. Richie is his nickname. I had a buddy that did it for a couple summers, and I like enlisted him to come help me move out this like shed that somebody hired me to do. He was like a superhuman, knowing exactly how to hold these like cabinets like on his back, like something that would take normally 2 people to do. He was like doing it with one guy. So it's pretty mind-boggling when you really watch those maestros work. I saw you tweeted that you basically were playing music for these guys, which. I'm sure you were thinking it was awesome, but I just picture being these guys. I mean, everybody's got their own personal type of music. I imagine being like, this music is freaking horrendous. This guy needs to turn this crap off.
It was, I Want to Know What Love Is. And, which is like just a classic song, but I just had on, like Spotify or Pandora, whichever one. And it was just like a, classic rock playlist. It was nothing crazy. And it wasn't like jamming out, but I like listening to music. And that's what was funny is I think it was one of those songs where everyone kind of knows it and we were all kind of like humming it. And then we all kind of caught each other. And it was kind of like a funny moment, but
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, hanging with these moving guys, man, it's gotta almost be like taking you back to your college days or something. There's some camaraderie to be had on those type of jobs.
Yeah. And it was the company, what's it called? College Hunks. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen them.
Classic one.
Oh yeah.
I've always wondered with that. Are they actually like college hunks or?
There was 3 guys. There was 3 guys. One guy was clearly like the project manager. He lifted a few things, but he was doing all the paperwork, all the business. But the other 2 guys, like you said, Jared. I mean, I told him we bought him Gatorade and we gave him a tip and like whatever all the stuff you do for moving people. But I tried to warn him a few things. I was like, I got to be honest, guys, this cabinet, I don't ever want to move this again in my life. So good luck with it. And same thing. They're like up on their shoulder, up the stairs.
Man.
Just like, oh,
they got the arm straps. They got everything, man. They're legit.
Yeah.
My catch up this week. It's kind of a look forward, a little bit of a teaser for maybe next week's catch up. But as you guys know, my girlfriend's sister is getting married this Saturday, and I hate freaking dancing, man. I've been thinking about this. Like, I've been dreading this day I never thought it would come. It's finally here. It's coming up on Saturday. And all I can think about is how much I freaking hate dancing and how I'm going to have to go out there for at least one song and dance. And like, I kid you not, it's like, it gives me like, not anxiety is not the right word, but I seriously, there's nothing I hate more than dancing at a wedding. I hated dancing at homecoming, and that was like, grinding, which is pretty awesome, if you're a guy with a girl or whatever. And even that I kind of like was a little apprehensive about. So now I'm doing these 1980s like Ted dance moves, and I just hate it. And so basically my catch up is just that I'm dreading this wedding. Not for any other reason, but for the goddamn dance floor.
Now, not that I'm trying to encourage, libations, but is this a dry wedding, or are you going to be able to get
it's not I don't like, that's the thing. I could have 50 drinks, man, and I'm still gonna have that same opinion. It's like I'm blocking my mind.
I've never seen Jared like so fired up about something. I mean,
I know.
Even Michigan State beating Michigan in football, or Tom Izzo, making a run or whatever.
And Matt, it's funny you say that because I picture you as a guy that just loves it. You're eating up the wedding dancing. You're the life of a party at a wedding, and I like weddings. I have a great time at them. It's just everyone. I get, even when I was at your daughter's wedding. I remember I got pressured like 10 different times to go out on that damn dance floor. And I just hate it. It's the pressure. If people just never mention the dance floor, I would be having a blast walking around, making small talk, drinking my hand. But because there's always that hanging over my head, the damn dancing, it ruins the entire night.
That's the key. You've got to be the boyfriend. You've been around their family long enough. You probably know a good amount of their family. You got to be the guy that's talking to all the aunts and uncles and grandparents and cousins, and so you always have that excuse when like, oh, here comes the cha-cha slide, Jared, come on. You're like, no, I'm talking, I'm talking to Aunt Debbie or whatever. So that's got to be your excuse the whole time.
I don't know. It's kind of just like, I think I just need to suck it up. Very first song of the night, head out there, get it over with, and then pop a squat in the corner the rest of the night.
Yeah, but then you're setting the bar. Because if you go out there and people are like, yeah, look at Jared, this is great, then you got to be out there the rest of the night.
Yeah, man, dude, I wish I had a good way around it. There's no good way. There's no good thing to do. There's nothing. Ted, I was trying to remember. At that wedding, were you dancing? I mean, you're in your 60s.
Oh, yeah, we all were. I mean, I'm surprised you were self-conscious because we all look like fools,
Yeah. I was the only sober one in the place as well.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. It was a no kids allowed wedding. So I was the last guy to make the cut.
You were the last one.
Here's your excuse, Jared. Get a knee brace. Put on a knee brace over your dress pants. You're done.
You're done.
It's funny you mentioned dress pants. So I have one, like, I wear the same exact outfit to every formal event. It looks good. Brown shoes, blue pants, white dress shirt, nice watch. Last time I wore those pants was last wedding last summer, and I went back home.
Uncle Ted is not happy about this.
My parents, it's every time that I leave something at my parents' house, they like trash it. So I brand new $100 Polo Ralph Lauren pants, bought them just brand new off the shelf less than a year ago. They are probably at Goodwill right now. So I need to go to the store and buy pants. So that's another bummer.
Yeah.
Jared,
I feel for you.
Jared is going through it right now. He's telling us before we started recording, I know about this. You said you were working on a project, couldn't figure out how to get it to export. There's nothing more frustrating than stuff like that. It's kind of like Ted, how you got back, what was it, after an Owasso softball game and you had a technical error? It's stuff like that is just like a killer. It just ruins your day.
100%.
It's because this is champagne problems, but I was lining it up perfectly where I was going to drive back, from work right around 7:00, get back, get all my bags unpacked and be sitting down for this pod at 8:00. Now I got to do this pod, then drive back after the pod, then unpack my bags. It's going to be 10:30 by the time I'm even eating dinner tonight.
Wow.
I think that's a hint. That's a hint, Ted. He's saying, let's go.
Let's move it along. All right.
Move it
All
along.
right. Let's move it along then. I was just going to tell you one thing though. You were talking about music, and I think Jared would get a kick out of this. I actually dug out my old iPod Nano today
Oh.
because my phone it was on, its last bit of battery life. So I said, "Oh, I'll go mow the lawn with my iPod and put it on shuffle." Yeah, I got some good tunes on there. I was enjoying it.
That's funny. iPod, that's like a throwback.
I wish I could do that. I had an iPod back in the day.
There it is.
And since I was the youngest brother, my brothers basically just took it as their own. My brother went for a run with it one day. Brand new iPod Touch, just got it for like Christmas, I think, a few months old. Went for a run with it, dropped it, shattered the screen, never paid me for it, never apologized for it. Basically never even mentioned it until I couldn't find it. So yeah, no, I wish I could do that, but I can't.
Yeah.
Jared
All right.
is just going through it, man.
He's in a bad mood tonight.
That was a perfect lead-in, man. I mean, that's just an example of what I grew up with right there.
Well, thank goodness. I'll just end this segment with this. Thank goodness you're not in the military. And, we're recording this on June 6th, the, I think, 78th anniversary of D-Day, where our U.S. soldiers stormed the beach at Normandy and really was the pivotal point to beat the Nazis. But, you brought it up, I think, a week or so ago, Matt, about the classic movie Saving Private Ryan. I mean, we'll never know what it was like for those guys storming the beach. But if you ever wanted to watch a film, the first 20, 25 minutes of that's about as close a recreation I think you could ever make on what it might have been like. You agree with that?
I mean, I definitely agree. Again, I've never been there, so I don't know exactly what it's like, or, none of us have, but it makes you feel like you're in, especially if you have like some legit surround sound, it makes you feel like you are there. If you crank that surround sound up, it is so intense and realistic. And it really sets up that whole movie. And it's always, I think it's one of my favorite movies in an odd way.
Mm-hmm.
But where D-Day is or was,
Normandy.
Geez, I'm blanking on where it was.
In France.
Normandy.
Yeah, Normandy.
Yeah, Normandy. Jeez, you just said it. Normandy. That's one of those that, like you mentioned, didn't you go to Gettysburg fairly recently?
It's been a little while, but it's a mind-blowing place to go look at and tour. Yeah.
And my parents, maybe I'm thinking my parents were just there a year ago, but that's one of those that I feel like in an odd way, I really want to go to Normandy. Like it's almost like, why would you want to go there? But also like it would be kind of like a surreal experience to be standing like where that happened, So
yeah, I don't think it's odd at all. I mean, that's a part of history. And I mean, you can just, I'll give you one example, from my era being the baby boomer, when John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas. I'll never forget the first time I went to Dallas on a sales trip. I had to go to the Book Depository Museum. And you talk about history and you talk about getting chills. You actually can stand up on the 6th floor and look out the window that's right next to the window. They got where he did the shooting. They got that kind of glassed in, but you can stand right next to where he was at and look down at the street. And if anybody does that, it pretty much took all doubt out of my mind that he had a bird's eye view and he was the lone shooter in my viewpoint. I mean, when you look out that window, but it was one of those historical things that's kind of morbid, but it was fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. That's not what happened. I've seen so many documentaries in my day, and I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. It's literally like when they just declassified so many files on that thing. And if you look at how they handled like the what's it called when they look over the dead body, like basically like how it
autopsy,
like how they handled that, it's very, very shady. Makes no sense how they did it. Great documentary on Amazon Prime. My dad's like obsessed with it, so of course I got dragged into watching that one day.
It's interesting though.
Yeah. In Normandy, every time I see those pictures, man, it's mind blowing. I mean, it really is the greatest generation. I'll be the first to say it. Maybe not the best basketball players, but in terms of honor and just courage. Wow, all you need to see is those damn photos of those boats, the doors going down.
Yeah,
like you said, the Saving Private Ryan scene. I think I've heard that a lot of people that were there when they stormed the beaches, like they can't watch that scene. It's so realistic. Although I will say another great video I've watched on YouTube, World War II historian points out what they got right, what they got wrong in that scene. So once you watch that scene, go and watch the 25-minute YouTube video after that explaining what's right, what's wrong. So
sounds like a plan. Well, I had to throw that out there, fellas, on this day. So we definitely want to honor all our veterans, especially the ones from, like Jared said, that greatest generation. Now, I can't wait to get to the next part because of the mood Jared's in, and he's in charge of our little game we're going to play. So let's see how this goes right after this.
Rivals Taphouse and Grille is the area's go-to spot for the best in food and drink. Meet up with your friends and catch your favorite sporting events on over 20 high-def flat-screen TVs
and our 120-inch projection screen.
Rivals can handle your large or small parties and is an awesome spot to put on your fundraising events. Weekly food and drink specials including gourmet burgers, wings, pizza, homemade soup, and salads. Rivals also stocks a large selection of craft and domestic brews. Rivals Taphouse and Grille, the official gathering spot of 3 Point Podcast, located on the corner of Shiawassee and M21 in Corona.
AZEE Printing Solutions, formerly Hankered Sportswear, is a full-service print shop that specializes in screen printing, digital printing, and embroidery. They pride themselves on giving a great product at a great value. The area's go-to printing solution offers a 100% guarantee to exceed your expectations. AZEE Printing Solutions has your favorite local spiritware as well as many other apparel items in stock. Specialty items are available for family, sports, business, and charity events. Call 989-725-2979 or stop into the store in downtown Owasso.
The Wash of Owasso is excited to welcome you to their new and state-of-the-art full-service laundromat, conveniently located at 809 West Main Street in historic Westtown, Owasso. They're open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the coin laundry, or you can drop off your laundry for wash and fold service Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. Too busy to stop in? No problem, as the Wash of Owasso will pick up your laundry right at your door and will deliver it back to you the next day. Go online to thewashofowasso.com. That's thewashofowasso.com to view pricing or call 989-472-3322 and schedule your pickup. As a special 3-point podcast bonus, enter code 3PP, that's the number 3 and 2 Ps, at checkout for 10% off your first order. The 3-point podcast team welcomes the Wash of Owasso to our team.
maybe the reason I'm in a bad mood is because, as you guys know, Mondays are generally my diet restart day. So far, so good. But the reason I wanted to do this fast food item draft is kind of as like a swan song to my old past, eating McDonald's every night. I mean, I'll tell you guys, man, this last month, 3 or 4 times a week, my order at McDonald's has been 3 McChickens, 3 small fries, 4-piece McNugget for $10. That's been my go-to order most nights. So you're wondering why I'm not quite the athlete I used to be. That's probably why.
Wait, say that one more time. What was that volume of that's what you eat? Say it again.
Well, I have an interesting diet where I normally don't eat all day and then I only eat dinner. So kind of forces me to eat a lot at dinner. 3 McChickens.
Okay.
3 small fries, 1 4-piece McNugget. And the reason I order it like that is because they have a deal going where it's buy one, get one free. So that's why it's only $10. So that's the reasoning behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, kissing those days goodbye. Unless you guys have any opposing thoughts, I figure I'll take the first pick here. Unless one of you guys want it.
Go for it.
Snake draft. We'll go youngest first. I got to say though, while I now at this age that I am, that order that you're doing multiple times a week sounds awful. Would just like tear my gut up. I know what it was like to be your age and, your first full-time job and you're on a bit of a budget and you can get the buy one, get one free deals. Yeah. I was eating Taco Bell and McDonald's and stuff all the time. So I get it.
It's pretty awesome, man. I mean, you feel horrible and you wake up, feeling terrible the next day. But for those 10 minutes and that drive home, when I'm thinking about enjoying that, it's magic. But all right, for my first pick, in the same vein, man, gotta take it. The McChicken, the McDonald's McChicken. And it's funny, I've had a recent sort of change of heart.
This is your number one pick?
Oh, it's incredible. Number one pick. McDonald's McChicken. I used to love the McDoubles. I'd always have buddies that would go get the McChicken. I'm like, what do you get? Well, dude, it's McDonald's. Get a burger. I finally had one, not too long ago, maybe a year ago. And I can't believe I haven't eaten it my whole life. It's partially because I love mayo. Mayo and ranch are on basically everything I eat.
Yeah.
And so they douse it with mayo, and it's just incredible. It tastes the same. Believe me, I've been getting it for the last year. 3 times a week. It tastes exactly the same every time. Perfect. It's the perfect fill-up meal. So with my number one pick, I'm going McChicken.
For your number one pick, your LeBron James is the McChicken.
Wow.
Before
That's a shocker.
I know. Before I get to mine, so I just have to ask like the big question. Have you had? I'm assuming yes. Have you had Chick-fil-A?
Yes.
Yes.
You like,
I know.
you like the McChicken better than Chick-fil-A?
Hey,
Too expensive.
Let me explain this. My picks are not necessarily what is the best tasting. There's a lot of different factors. Price. I'm not going to Chick-fil-A. We all know this. Go sit in line for an hour. It's not worth it. You got to take a lot of different variables into the effect. Nostalgia. I ate McDonald's my whole life. So there's a lot of different things going into this rather than just taste. And that's why I will win this draft. So first pick.
I will say you guys clearly, and I'm not acting like I'm some like Southerner, but you guys clearly are not from the South because Chick-fil-A is a way of life down here. People like live and die. Like you're 3 times a week, 3-4 times a week at McDonald's. People do that with Chick-fil-A. Legitimately, I have some coworkers who go every day, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They go to Chick-fil-A every day.
So they just carve out an hour of their day. I don't understand.
See, I don't know. Maybe it's not like that up there. Down here, they've got a system. I mean,
they have a hell of a system.
Yeah,
but it's still a long
that line moves.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Anyway.
There's probably a lot more around. Like I remember when I went first time I ever at Chick-fil-A was on spring break my senior year in Florida. No wait at all. So it wouldn't surprise me. It's just there's more volume of the restaurants, not nearly as big of a wait.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A definitely is like Dunkin' Donuts in New England. Like there's just a Chick-fil-A on every corner. So I'm curious if Chick-fil-A shows up in this draft. It's not my number one. My number one is at the same restaurant Jared is just the biggest fan of, but it's the Mcgriddle.
Oh,
the Mcgriddle is the best fast food item in the history of fast food nonsense food. I don't even know. Like who thought of why I say nonsense is like who thought of this? This is the best thing ever. Okay, we all have syrup on pancakes. We all have sausage or eggs or bacon or whatever cheese. Why don't we make a sandwich out of this? And it is the best thing ever. I will say I don't know the last time I've had one. It's been quite a while. But again, going back to the nostalgia thing, that's why you're McChicken. I get it. I used to, after a rough night, you go to McDonald's and you get a couple McGriddles and you are just feeling like 100%, at least for the next hour or two. So my number one, my LeBron James, my number one pick is the McGriddle.
Wow, you guys are just shocking me coming out of this. I don't know.
That's all, McGriddle. Here's the thing about McGriddles. Everything on paper, like, man, they are good. They taste good. But have you guys noticed that, like, more than any other item, it literally feels like a rock is sliding down your gullet. Like, it gets clogged in your heart. Like, where you do the Chris Farley.
Well, we are talking fast food.
That's the best part.
That in particular, it could be that could be the only thing I eat. It's something about it. I don't know why.
It's the most dense pancake ever. The pancakes they put on there is like
they are pretty dense.
But that's what you need. If you're going on a long road trip and you just need something to sit in your gut for 4 hours, smash a couple McGriddles and you're good to go.
Up, man.
As you guys know, I'm on my weight loss plan and sticking to it pretty good,
yeah.
really. Yeah.
Jared, how do you think of doing this game while Ted's trying to lose some weight?
No kidding, man. Trying to torture me. But let me get a clarification. Are we talking all fast food places, anything on the menu? We're not going like entrees, what best kind of sandwich, what best kind of potatoes. We're going just
whatever you want. You can pick 4 burgers if you wanted.
Yeah,
okay.
if your number one is McDonald's fries, that's your number one.
All right. Whatever. Well, my number one, and there's a lot of them there. I will say this, one of our listeners, he follows us on Twitter, said something about Big John Steak and Onion. I don't think you can qualify them because they're not nationwide. They're Michigan. A good steak and onion from Big John's is awesome. But if I got to go to at a fast food place, I'm going to the old standby, the Whopper, the combination of tomato, lettuce, mayo, the burger, flame broiled. It's just, there's something about every once in a while, I got to have a Whopper.
This is such a boomer, the Whopper.
Can't help it.
Yeah.
Was Burger King like the go-to place when you were young? Like, it seems like it was a lot bigger back in the day.
Yeah. Well, when they first came out with the Whopper, it was huge. It was huge.
Yeah. I do remember when I don't know if they still do it. They used to do like $1 Whoppers, and we would go in college and get like 20 of them. But Yeah, same thing. I don't know the last time I ate at Burger King. Really,
Right.
no but are they still around?
Oh yeah,
No,
Burger Kings are still around.
my girlfriend actually like shits on me because I say like I love Burger King, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross when you say that, but there's something about those Whoppers. They
Yeah.
do a damn good job putting together a Whopper.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
that
it's a
flame
great
broiled.
combination. It just
The
is.
fake flame grill marks on it are what really
The story I always think of with Burger King. So this is definitely dating me. And Jared, since you went to Grand Valley, when I went to Grand Valley, there's that Burger King on the corner right outside of campus. When I went to Grand Valley, that was the only fast food place without either driving like into Allendale or down Standale or Jenison or driving like 10-15 minutes away. So you went to Burger King at just where you went because that was the only place like just outside of campus. So we would go, we would sometimes go on a weekend. It would be like 3 times. It would be a breakfast. It would be a dinner. So maybe that's why I don't eat Burger King that much anymore.
And what's funny about that is that parking lot, I think, has like 5 different restaurants in it now.
Right.
That area has exploded. But Ted, I think you got another.
Yeah, we're doing snake draft. So okay,
order.
I'm gonna second choice is the chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. I mean, it's a killer. I love their sandwiches. The pickle, I put a little bit of Chick-fil-A sauce on it, and you can't go wrong. And it's just juicy chicken, just made to perfection. I love it.
It's perfect. Do you do the original or do you do spicy?
I do the original. Or? Yeah, I do the original on the multi-grain bun.
Okay. Oh, nice. Keeping it.
No, it's. I will give you pound per pound. It's the best fast food item. It's just it's not worth the wait for me. Fast food. When I think of fast food, it's convenience, and Chick-fil-A just doesn't have that where I'm at least. So that's the only reason I didn't pick it number 1.
That's good. No, it is good. We usually, if we go there, we go with the spicy with some pepper jack cheese, and the clutch. You got to put the Chick-fil-A sauce on it. That's just game changer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have probably 2 dozen of them sitting in my refrigerator right now.
Nice. Do you know the trick? The trick slipped out why their chicken tastes so good. One, there's apparently they use high quality chicken, but their breading is in pickle juice. That's like that's what's supposed to be like the sleeper.
That's the secret ingredient.
Allegedly, you're glossing over the fact he just said he has 2 dozen Chick-fil-A sandwiches in his fridge.
No. Chick-fil-A sauce.
Oh,
you keep them in the fridge.
Packets.
Even that's a little bizarre, but yeah, I'll take it. All right, never mind.
You keep those in the fridge, though, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Chick-fil-A did make it. My number 2. I had to go with a split. It was hard for me to decide. Again, this is a nostalgia thing, but I still like it once in a while. I couldn't decide between the Crunchwrap Supreme at Taco Bell or just the classic Supreme Chalupa. So I'm going, those are my 2. So those are my 2 Taco Bell go-tos. The Crunchwrap Supreme, again, was just a go-to in college when I was on the Jared budget, just wanting to get as much food as I can for $10. You get a couple Crunchwrap Supremes. The Chalupa, I don't know what it is. That shell, it's like almost sweet. It's like fluffy and sweet. And then, you get what you were talking about, Jared, with your mayo. I love sour cream. So you put sour cream in there with their meat that isn't probably really meat, but who cares? And, all the other stuff. And so, yeah, I'm split on number 2, the Chalupa and the Crunchwrap Supreme.
So wait, which one did you select one?
No, that's my number 2, both of them.
Is that the rules?
Combination.
All right, you're lucky. I'll give it to you because I'm not gonna pick either of those. All right, my go-to pick, and I'm going back and forth. I think I have to go dessert because it's a lot less to pick from. 2, I'm debate. I'm only gonna throw out the one that I'm picking just so I don't give you guys ideas. I'm going vanilla frosty, Wendy's. Ooh. The price point.
The vanilla?
The fact you can swap it out for a drink without an upcharge, that's the best part about it. And yes, vanilla. I've always been a vanilla guy. I just, in any type of ice cream, I've always liked vanilla more than chocolate. Wendy's, man, dip the fry in it if you want. Eat it plain.
You're a fry dipper, huh? You're a fry dipper?
Oh, yeah. Buy some cookies from Wendy's, crumble them up, put them in there, mix it around like it's a flurry. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. But given the price and how easy they can turn it out, it's not like the McFlurry where the machine's never working. It's always ready, always can count on it. And as somebody who doesn't drink pop, I love that I can swap it out for a drink without the upcharge. So that's my number 2 pick, Frosty.
That's clutch. So I got to ask though, if you get that with a meal, you have to get a water or something too.
Yep,
you're
water.
Not okay.
Yep.
As I say, you're not washing down your burgers with a Frosty. but
No.
that's good. I've honestly never had the vanilla.
I
Why
didn't
would
even
you
know
get
they
them?
made them. I didn't even know they made them.
Yeah.
You didn't know they had vanilla Frosties? You
No, I
only
thought
ever
they were
got
just chocolate frosty. I thought it was just frosty. That's a chocolate frosty.
Yep.
No. Okay. So my pick at the end here. Have we decided? Are we doing 3 or 4 rounds? What did we decide?
I thought we said 3.
Okay, 3 rounds.
3-point
That's a
podcast.
3-point podcast.
I think I got to go with a fry of some sort. I don't like Taco Bell that much. I'll eat it. Not my favorite, so I'm not going that route. I think I got to go. It's crazy that it's still here. It's the biggest staple there is McDonald's fries, man. I hate that I have 2 picks for McDonald's, but here's the thing about McDonald's. People shit on it all the time, but think if you only had McDonald's the same amount of times you have like In-N-Out Burger. You would think it's the best like fast food you've ever had in your life. And McDonald's fries, when they are crisp out of right when you grab them from the drive-through window, put your hand in the bag, it's maybe heaven in a food item. So I think McDonald's gets a bad rap, especially their fries, because they get cold, people wait. But if you eat them fresh out of the fryer, man, they're the best.
They're hot. Yeah, they're good.
If you get them fresh, and there's something too about eating them out of the bag because you can't wait. You can't wait till you get home, so you start reaching in the bag. There's something about that too.
I can't tell you how many times I've left the radio station on a Friday night and I swing into McDonald's in Owasso and get a large fry to go and just dump that baby right in the bag, and just munch on it on my way home.
There's something about it. They're good.
Yeah,
you can't go wrong. But that's the thing. They got to be fresh. I mean, that's true with probably anything. But if you get the cold ones, it is like it's like you're in Jared's mood. It's like the mood that Jared's in if you get cold fries. But I'm going with you too. I'm going with fries, but I don't know if I've been swayed, but Chick-fil-A's waffle fries with Chick-fil-A sauce
pretty good.
Are incredible. I mean, if we get Chick-fil-A, I like the sandwiches, but I could eat just like a meal of the fries with Chick-fil-A sauce. So that would be my fry of choice.
All right. Well, I'll since Jared was talking about the vanilla frosty, I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm not picking it, but for advice for our listeners that haven't tried it, if you're ever just looking for a quick ice cream cone, McDonald's vanilla ice cream cones, they're solid. $1.29.
If the machine is working.
If the machine's working, but I mean, the value's there, and it's the perfect size, and you don't get it all over yourself if you're driving. It's just a great go-to for me. But I'm going to pull one out of my butt. You remember the old days of Hot and Now. That was my go-to when I was young and had to buy a bunch of burgers on a budget. But I'm going to go with my third pick. Underrated big time. Hardee's mushroom and Swiss burger. They are phenomenal. The sauce they put on those, incredible. So Hardee's.
The Hardee's in Owasso, I don't know if it still is, but it used to be 24 hours. So that was one of the spots to go to after doing the whole bar crawl downtown Owasso. Head over to Hardee's and get a big old burger. I forget what their main burger is called. It's like it has a name anyway.
This is hilarious. Too funny not to share. I had a buddy that used to work at Hardee's. This was just dumb high schoolers doing dumb high schoolers things. So he called into work. He called into work so he could come hang out with me and my brothers. I think I was working out. This is like right before my senior year of football, so I was working out. They go to Hardee's through the drive-through. He's sitting in the back with like a newspaper held up so they can't see him in the back seat of Hardee's. They clearly tell my brothers are acting weird in the front seat, getting a shake. So they kind of I think they catch on, and finally they look in the back seat. They see him back there. They go, "Hey, you're supposed to call into work. If you're not here in 5 minutes, you're fired." Quit random spot. And that was the last time he ever worked at Hardee's. So I just something about that place, man. Never been back since, but it's got a special place in my heart.
Used to have a ball pit so you could go play in the balls, but it was probably lined with needles and stuff like that. So you probably didn't actually want to do it. So
yeah, definitely
Hardee's,
a bacteria infested place for sure.
Yeah.
No,
that's funny. It's funny thinking about fast food. I mean, I'm not gonna act. We eat pretty healthy, but every once in a while, McDonald's does sound good. Chick-fil-A sounds good. You just got to do it in moderation, though. Three or four times a week, Jared. That's I know you're on a budget, but that's a lot of fast food.
Like I said, man, diet started today. So
all right,
Matt. One thing you got to do if you're with your daughter and with your son coming up, man. I remember my dad. We were driving right past McDonald's when I was a little kid. Every time we drive by, I'm like, "Hey, can we go to McDonald's? Can we go to McDonald's?" He says no. pulls around the corner, like keeps driving, pulls into the like exit entrance, like trips me. Oh yeah! So you got to pull
that's
that
clutch.
one of these times. It's awesome.
That's clutch. You pull in over there by Payless. You pull in back over there.
Exactly.
Zip over to the drive-through. That is clutch. Now, so would you guys qualify? I was gonna throw this one on there. Hot and Ready's from Little Caesars. Would you qualify that as fast food?
That's the undrafted Tom Brady of this draft. The fact that didn't get drafted, man, I'm kind of kicking myself. Probably should have had it on my.
That was gonna be my number 3, but I was like, you know what? I don't know if it qualifies as fast food because again, I lived on damn Hot and Ready's in college. I mean, that was when the whole $5 thing started, and we ate those all the time. And they're still good. Sometimes, like, we'll be like, we want pizza, and we're like, let's go get Little Caesars. It's still good. So the big thing, though, is down here, or really anywhere outside of Corona, you don't have the orange or white cheese to go with your crazy bread. So that's clutch in Corona.
Now, we had some people that participated on our social media pages, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. So so we posted this on Facebook that we were doing it, and Twitter and Instagram, and so yeah, whenever we do this kind of thing, we usually post these things so you can follow us at 3 Point Pod and you can kind of chime in and we'll read your stuff on the podcast. But just reading a couple of them on Facebook. So my sister Christine, she selected some of the items on the picture, but she said her sleeper is a Crunchwrap Supreme, which I agree with. I wouldn't call it a sleeper though for me because it was my number 2 pick. But yeah, the Crunchwrap Supreme is good. And then one more, John Peterson. He's a Corona grad, graduated a couple years after me. He said this is a little controversial for Jared, but he said McDonald's fries are overrated and would not be on my draft board.
Wow.
He said he's taken any rodeo burger as his sleeper, and the Whopper over the Big Mac. So there are some of John's picks. So yeah, just kind of funny to hear other people's things. That is true. A rodeo burger from a restaurant are usually tasty, but the Whopper over the Big Mac, you got to be in on that one, Ted.
100%. I mean, the Big Mac's pretty good too, but I'm a Whopper guy all the way.
Yeah.
So I have 2 to read, and these were sent private submissions, and the person asked to remain anonymous, but quote unquote, higher than balls McDonald's nuggets with assorted sauces. And the second one, while also being quote unquote higher than balls, IHOP all you can eat pancakes, which that's not technically fast food. So I think that one gets thrown out, but just felt the need to throw those out there.
Yeah.
That's another good one. IHOP is good. Man, pancakes. I don't know if I could anymore. If I ever had to do an eating contest, pancakes would be my thing. I used to be able to put those things down, and I'm not lying when I say this. When like on a Saturday or Sunday morning, on the weekend, and my mom or dad would make pancakes, I would be the last one sitting at the table while my siblings are all off playing, doing whatever. I would eat, I'm not lying, 12 to 15 pancakes. I would just sit there and house them. One of my buddies, one of my good buddies, he always jokes. We lived together for a couple of years in college. He used to like to cook. He still does. But he always says, the most impressive thing I've ever seen someone eating was Burns when I made pancakes one morning and I couldn't make enough pancakes. I don't know what it is. I can put down some pancakes, but.
What do you like? What's your go-to kind? Chocolate chip, blueberry?
No. Just straight up buttermilk, straight up pancakes with a little bit of syrup.
We've all stared at those syrups all on IHOP's tables before and tried them, and they're all pretty bad. Other than they're just original, but
you got to get the classic.
Good. Classic, yep, no doubt.
It's probably why I like the Mcgriddle so much.
Makes sense. Well, let's finish strong, fellas. Let's move on. We'll talk a little bit of sports here to wrap up the podcast and see where it takes us. We'll be right back after this. Nelson House Funeral Home's #1 goal is to serve the families in our area. The Nelson House staff are proud to serve our local community with reliability, integrity, and compassion. Unique service representing unique lives, ensuring your loved ones receive the honor and celebration they deserve. Founded in 1880 and continuing the tradition today with chapels in Owasso, Chesaning, and New Lothrop. For more details, find them at nelson-house.com or call 989-723-5234.
Success Group Mortgage and Servicing is Shiawassee County's only licensed mortgage broker, lender, and servicer. That means you get exclusive products not found anywhere else. If you are looking to purchase a home or refinance a home, in Florida, Hawaii, or Michigan, stop what you're doing and give Success Group Mortgage and Servicing a call. 989-720-4380. That's 989-720-4380.
Looking to buy items online? Go to crauctions.com. All you need to do is download the app to your phone or computer and start buying and selling today. crauctions.com will market your items all over the country and get them sold. If you are looking to buy something, we can help with that too. Just go to crauctions.com. Search our inventory and place your bid. Plus, there are online auctions for farm machinery, firearms, automobiles, and truckloads of overstocked items. It's fast, it's easy, and you will get results. Get the app and check out crauctions.com today.
All right, I just wanted to throw this out there. I was going to use it in the catch-up, but, we recorded last week, and it was right in the midst of the match with Tom Brady and Mahomes and, Rodgers and Josh Allen. I don't know if you guys turned it on after we got done recording, but I was able to watch, like, the last 3 or 4 holes. It was damn entertaining, with the hot mics. I know how big you are on that, Matt. Listening to him talk. And in fact, Rodgers and Brady kind of whispered to each other. They had some sort of strategy they had on their mind as they finished strong down the stretch with, Rodgers winning the contest for him with about a 20-foot putt on the last hole. But I thought it was well done. I thought it was fun watching those quarterbacks and watching them compete, the young guys against the old guys. And then Ernie Johnson hosting the show afterwards with the 4 quarterbacks sitting together, get interviewed, talking about different philosophies, how they play the game. It was awesome to watch.
It is cool. And when you have Ernie Johnson hosting, he's the best in the business. So that helps. And, when you have these guys on mic, because, they like to talk trash to each other and they're definitely competitive, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So I think there was that edge. Rodgers and Brady wanted to beat the young guns. So, that was kind of cool. Same thing that I always say, like, I wish sometimes these things were on HBO or pay-per-view. So these guys could really say what they want to say to each other. It's still fun. I'm just saying, they're holding back a little bit. But yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing. I saw some clips of the conversation afterwards. That stuff for obviously sports fans like us is just like super interesting to hear. 4 of the best quarterbacks in the game, 2 of the best ever,
right,
talking about, the position. It is really cool.
I love those events, man. Because it reminds you of when you're playing golf with your buddies. It's not this, and don't even get me started on this newest Phil Mickelson development where he's basically trying to still play the majors. Dude, if you're the PGA and you let Phil Mickelson join this new Super League and come back and play the majors,
I wouldn't
let him
stop
like 50 other players from doing that. That's
right.
That's the only reason they aren't leaving. So, God, I hope they don't let him do that. But anyway, no, it's awesome. The trash talk. It's cool seeing like Aaron Rodgers, man. You hardly ever really see him kind of not being the football, weirdo, other than maybe Pat McAfee's show. So it's cool to see him kind of in a different light. He's a damn good golfer.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome. The trash talk's awesome. The fact that it's the TNT basketball broadcast put them on anything, man, and they're going to make it gold. So it's perfectly done. It was a great thing that came out of COVID. I'm glad they're still doing it, but do you guys like it more with the pros or with just the, like what we had this most recent one, just 4 kind of average golfers?
Personally, I'd rather see just average golfers, just so everyone's kind of on the same playing field. Because while it is cool to see Tiger Woods and, other guys out there, it is kind of like not fair almost. But that's fun too, because you get to see those pro golfers kind of let loose a little bit. But no, I'd rather just see 4 normal people, even though Tom Brady's not normal, but you know what I mean, like non-golfers, I guess.
No, I agree with you. And I know, I don't know what you feel, Jared, about I don't know how you golf. Do you take a long time before you hit your shot? Or Tom Brady took forever. He took forever to hit that ball.
That's nothing surprises me less than Tom Brady taking forever to hit a goddamn golf shot. I like Tom Brady. I like Aaron Rodgers. I like Josh Allen. I like Patrick Mahomes. But this should not be like how many of these has Tom Brady been in, man? It's not time for him to move on to the next guy. He's interesting. We all love Tom Brady, but this should be a revolving doors of different golfers, not be Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady taking on all challengers. So hopefully they don't do it again.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if they mix some sports, like get Steph Curry in there and get, some hockey player in there and, kind of mix up the sports a little bit. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Now, I got a question, Jared, for you behind the scenes there at Bally. I don't know if you have any input or information, but the Tigers, we don't have a lot to say about them right now. They win some, they lose some, they're still puddling along. But Javi Baez, there's something seriously wrong with his approach at the plate. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, have you heard anything?
No, I haven't. This is no basis behind it. This is my reading of the situation. Javier Baez, when he was playing his best, it's the Cubs World Series team. He seems like the type of guy, he goes as the team goes. He's not getting up for these, 10 games below 500, 1 o'clock, Tuesday games. But if this team was in the, playoff chase and they were playing well, I really do think it would kind of transform how he's playing. Because there's really no other way to explain it, man. He's
proven.
He started the season hot, had a couple of clutch moments, especially opening day. Remember that? And started off very clutch where the team was playing well, and just kind of since we started this tailspin, he's been tailspinning as well. But he's been great on defense. I mean, that's not the saving grace for him, but at least that's one bright spot you can look at. Man, he makes some dazzling plays on defense every game, pretty much.
Right. The thing is with him is he's definitely in a slump for sure, but this is kind of who he is. He strikes out a lot. He doesn't hit for average, and he's kind of almost like a boomer bust type of player at the plate. And he usually hits a little higher average than he is right now, so he's definitely not performing. But he almost is always at the top of the league in strikeouts, and he's also usually up there around the top for home runs. So he's just not doing that right now. He's not even hitting for power. So that's what kind of sucks. And this offense is just, I know, some guys hopefully are coming back. Hopefully Austin Meadows, hopefully Riley Green is coming back. And, hopefully Baez starts to turn it around. But, I mean, I kind of think that the same thing you were saying, Jared. While he did just sign this huge deal to come be like the guy in Detroit, it's got to be a little tough already, even though we're only beginning of June. It's got to be a little tough to be like getting up for the Tigers are so weird. They win 4 out of 5 against the Twins, and then they go and get just smacked around by the Yankees. And it's just like, I don't know what to make of this team. I still think health is a big problem, but it's definitely been a disappointing year.
Yeah, it has. And also, this is just weird. It came to me, and it affected Jared really. That the Tigers series against the Yankees was on Apple TV and Peacock Premium. Where'd that all come about?
I don't know. I don't know. I probably should have been asking some more questions about how that came about. But hey, I know it's kind of one of those things where when you're working every freaking day, some people don't mind a day or
take
two
the
off.
break. Yeah.
I did like how the Peacock game started at 11:30.
Yeah,
I think baseball games, man. You talk about something that like a 10 a.m. baseball game on Saturday morning. What sounds better than that?
Yeah,
I wish the MLB would kind of toy around more with the earlier start times. I think it'd be. I mean, think about that, man. You wake up, you're drinking your coffee, you're watching Tigers baseball. That sounds like heaven to me. So
not bad.
Yeah, I know Apple TV bought an exclusive package coming into this year for X amount of games, however many games they bought, because even like that game, the games that were on Apple TV, I subscribe to the MLB at home so I can watch the Tigers on my phone or wherever I'm at, and it's even blacked out on the MLB app because it's on Apple TV, because Apple they paid for an exclusive package of however many games they paid for. So I think it's kind of like the Amazon deal for Thursday Night Football. It's stuff like that. A lot of these companies are going that way, and it kind of sucks for the regional sports networks. I mean, you guys obviously still have the vast majority of Tigers games, but if it starts going in that direction, that's just pulling games away from Valley Sports or whatever. So, I mean, ESPN is basically, they only do 1 game a week now because of all that stuff and all the other stuff that they have. So it's definitely interesting. It's kind of cool, some of the stuff they do on Apple TV Plus for games, the different stats and other things they put up. It's kind of cool, but
as a production type of guy, so you kind of like that then, huh? How their presentation was.
Yeah, it's different anyway,
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's enough Tiger talk for this week anyway. And NBA, I mean, we're in the sweet spot right now, the NBA Finals. No real surprise to me so far. You had to figure that Boston was going to come out firing in that first game. And then if I was a betting man, I would have bet the house on Golden State in game 2 at home. So, it's 1-1. I'm still sticking with Golden State in 6, but it's definitely gotten very physical.
Yeah.
especially with Draymond Green. It's an interesting basketball to watch.
This is what makes the NBA Finals good, because they're at game 2 and they're already like hating each other. So
Right.
they're going back to Boston. Boston fans are going to be crazy, and hopefully this just continues. Draymond Green is going to keep bugging whoever is Grant Williams or Jaylen Brown, whoever it is. So it's been a good series so far.
Yeah, I still think it's the Warriors series to lose. I think game 1 was really an anomaly. I mean, Al Horford looked like he was back in 2010 again. I know he's been having a great playoffs, but what did he end up with? 20-plus points? It's not going to happen again. I think it was Bill Simmons. He didn't take a shot attempt until the second half of game number 2. So you're just not going to get that production from him. Their offense, man, really sputtered. Smart played terrible. Like I said, Horford terrible. White terrible. Whereas the Warriors, man, it's like it kind of took the Celtics' best shot in game 1 to really beat them, and it still took like a miraculous comeback. Even when Celtics were playing so damn well, they still were in a dogfight with the Warriors. So no, I still think it's a Warriors series. Gary Payton coming back, big addition on the defensive side of the ball, and Steph Curry. I've gone through so many phases of Steph Curry fandom, hatred. I'm now kind of I'm just appreciating this guy, and I kind of hope he does win this series. I don't like the Celtics. I can't explain it. I don't know if it's the constant like Tatum comparing to Kobe. Like every day there's a new Tatum like Kobe spin angle. He's wearing this, he's wearing that, he's tweeting this, he's texting that. So maybe that's what's kind of and that shouldn't even bother me. I don't know why it bothers me, but it does. Yeah. But I think maybe that has something to do with why I'm kind of anti-Celtics right now. But I'm all in on Warriors and Steph Curry, which is quite a plot twist.
Yeah, it is.
I was going to say, you're sounding like me with LeBron for the first 12 years of his career or whatever. I was like hating on the dude. Now I'm to the point, obviously, because he's with the Lakers too, but it's like just appreciate him while he's still playing, man. This guy's incredible. Same with Steph Curry. I mean, even for the people who don't like the Warriors, how can you watch the Warriors and not be like, man, this is fun to watch? These dudes just running all over the place. Jordan Poole's hitting half-court shots now, and I can understand if Draymond kind of annoys you. I can understand that, but watching Steph and Clay and Jordan Poole now, and just the way they play, Steve Kerr coaching, it's a fun brand of basketball to watch.
Yeah, it really is, and it's weird though. They don't play again till Wednesday night. Is that correct? That's odd. They really stretched that out.
Odd TV stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's 2 nights off. That's not that wild. That's what it usually is for the finals.
Well, Sunday night.
I loved the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. Every night playing a game, but I almost thought that wasn't fair to the players, man.
Yeah,
it seemed like injuries really piled up, and I think you blame it on that. I loved it as a TV fan, but I'd rather have everybody healthy than having a night off here or there, which we didn't have. So. No, I'm fine with the NBA Finals schedule. It's been like this for so damn long that it's just kind of you just accept it for what it is.
Yeah, I'll go along with that, I guess. On a personal finance note, fellas, how are you dealing with inflation and the price of gasoline and everything else right now? How are you dealing with that?
Luckily, most of what we do is within a 5-mile, 6-7 mile radius of school, work, grocery stores. We live in a city where like everything is just very accessible, so we're not burning a ton of gas. We're coming up to Michigan in July for like a week and a half or 2 weeks, and we were talking about, man, do we need to figure out a budget for how much gas we're going to be spending driving up to Michigan, because these prices are getting a little crazy. But I don't know, the whole gas price debate is just kind of like funny to me, how people who they blame and what their theory is behind why gas prices are what they are and stuff. And the one thing I'll say, we don't have to get into all that, but the one thing I'll say that always makes me laugh is when the certain side of the aisle shares something that says like, in 2020, gas prices were blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, you're talking about when everyone was stuck at home because we were in a pandemic, so there was zero demand for gas. You're talking about Econ 101 basics here, supply and demand. 2020, when no one was leaving their house at all, driving, that's probably why gas prices were so low. So let's maybe think about that. But it is, you see some of them, like I've seen pictures out in LA, it's like $9.75 and
almost $10 a gallon.
Crazy,
think
man.
about that.
It is crazy, but I've always been, and I think we've argued about this before, I don't ever check the price of gas like at a gas station. I just pull in, fill up. There's nothing you can do about it. Everybody's paying it. I'm not going to drive all around town looking to save 10 cents on a gallon. Just fill it up. Don't even check how much it costs and move on with your life. It's kind of just a sunk cost.
But you're a young guy. I just was curious because it would probably affect you more, with your income's going to keep growing. But, when you go to the gas station and all of a sudden you're looking at a $75 bill,
No, I do.
that hurts the budget, man.
Because I'm making more money than I ever made in my life. But everyone's like, hey, no, you should be you're saving, right? You're doing this. My money has been going to, like you guys know, car repairs and gas. So it's everything to do with the goddamn road, man, is funneling all this money out of my account. So no, I do notice, but
yeah,
like I said, you just got to kind of pick yourself up by your bootstraps and move on with your life. There ain't nothing you can change about it.
No, that's very true. And I did want to jump in here and say this too. We talked about it last week after we recorded, but all our listeners know you work for Bally, and they were tuned in when you were an intern and working up in Grand Rapids, but you got your first bump, right?
Yeah. So now I'm kind of, I'm transitioning, so how kind of Matt knows this, for how TV works is production assistants, kind of how everybody gets hired in. I know Matt kind of skipped that step, but he had a different trajectory. But if you're coming out of college, basically that's the first job you're going to get at a place like Valley, at a place like ESPN, Fox Sports, wherever. So, I did that for a year, and, now I'm kind of getting transitioned out of that position to kind of work on more, feature based type stuff and social and digital, that sort of realm. So yeah, awesome. I'm excited. I mean, kind of had the first day today, partially why I'm trying to start this kind of restart of the diet, new title, new job, get the diet rolling, and I'm cooking with gas. So yeah, so I'm excited. We'll see where it leads us.
So how did it come about? Did your boss pull you in his office and say, "Hey, Jared, we really appreciate your work here. Here's what we're going to do"? I mean, how'd that all transpire? How's it work?
Well, I mean, it's been in the works for a while. I found out about this, 2 months ago, essentially. And we have this whole, kind of kind of with the ever changing landscape of, TV media, a lot more people kind of just taking stuff in through social. So kind of we're forming this sort of social team, and they kind of asked me if it's something I'd want to do. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. I want to put together features and stuff like that. So that's kind of how it happened. They said, hey, is it something you'd be interested in? We got this position opening up. Is it something you'd want to do? Yeah. So now I'm in it.
Tremendous.
It's kind of what we talked about with Ryan Slocum last week, how all the stuff that he's doing with state champs. Things have changed. I mean, even I know people who have changed their paths at ESPN because of that. So many people are consuming stuff on whether it's Twitter, social media, whatever, or even just still .com, that it's created a whole new job base. People like, you think about 15, 20 years ago, you didn't have people working in social media. You didn't have people working in, digital producer and stuff like that. Now there's all these jobs in social media and like a digital feature producer or, whatever it is. So it's kind of cool. And kind of along the lines too, that Slocum was talking about last week, you have like a different freedom to do stuff on social media and digital, because when you're doing stuff, for broadcast, there's the FDA, you can only do so much. You can only show so much stuff, or you have so much time, or, maybe certain people will tell you'll do an interview and they'll say like, I don't want that stuff going out there. I don't want that to be all over Valley Sports Detroit or whatever. Whereas when you're on digital, social media, Twitter, wherever, for the most part, you got free reign to do whatever you want, so it is cool. And, it opens up doors. You get to be a little more creative. You can, you can kind of dabble in, I don't know if you're like producing and editing, but you can kind of do all that stuff. So it's definitely a cool opportunity.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I mean, you guys know I love working here. So just keep the positive train and momentum rolling, and got to put in the work now.
Good job,
now you just got to move right next to the office, so you're not spending all your money on gas.
Yeah.
Or you got to get your girlfriend to move to Detroit, so you're not driving.
That's the bigger gas guzzler. That is is having basically, not two lives, but it's kind of almost what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah, it's sort of like a long distance relationship when you think about it. I mean, 90 minutes is 90 minutes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So no, exactly. Got another year done with school, then we'll get the gas situation under control.
All right. And by the way, Matt, great job on our social media stuff, man. I mean, you're really the guy that does it all. So that takes a lot of time and effort too. So we appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, We all know that we've got our day jobs. And Ted, you're semi-retired, but you're living the life. So
I'm busier than ever.
try to do as much as we can, to keep growing this thing, because we all have fun with it. And, we've got a pretty good following base and some pretty loyal listeners too. So we try to keep the word out there and share. I like sharing our partners stuff that they post and stuff like that. So
yeah, I appreciate this about you, Matt. And, we've been doing this pod for, a few years. I've noticed just in the, the quality of the shows, the planning, the posting, if you do something, you're going to do it right. And I can appreciate that with anyone. So no,
try
like that said, I'll second everything he said, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. I try to live up to your guys' expectations,
Well, you're living up to it. You've come a long way from being a Friday night sports forum expert. Remember those days?
I forgot about those. I forgot that was the kind of the base of how this got off the ground.
Where it all started, man.
Yeah.
That's where it all started. I remember that call. I was like, you know what? This could be something.
Well,
I do. What's funny about that is, and now we're getting off base a little bit.
Why not?
Ted, you did that for a long time, and a lot of people listen to that sports forum. I remember after I did that a few times, like when I would go back to town, to hang out with family, friends, or whatever.
Right.
I had a handful of people say, like, did I hear you on the sports forum? Say stuff like that. So it was kind of that, it was a little bit of just kinda being cool. Honest, it was a little bit of an ego boost,
Hell yes.
Yeah, that was me on there.
That show, I wasn't alive for when it probably had its heyday, but that probably was a pretty awesome show. It was cool. When I was a player, I used to listen to it every Friday night. So I can't imagine what it was like when radio was king. When even 10 times better.
Yeah, when the Castle first started and I started doing it there, man, it was huge, and we were doing it all the time, live, remote at different restaurants. And there was a restaurant, gosh, I forget, Risto's Bistro. We had a run there that was phenomenal. So it was a lot of fun, we're in this business because it is fun,
Right.
What do you think? Do you look back and man, this podcast thing is freaking awesome. Like the sports forum, did you ever do long form type things, or it all was kind of just the quick 5-minute interviews and in and out? Was it something that existed back then?
No, it didn't really. You always had to take your commercial breaks. I mean, the sports forum was a 2-hour show, and I was a younger man, obviously. I mean, you think about when I had my full-time career in industry, I'd get up early. I'd start work 6:30 in the morning, and then I'd go broadcast a high school football or basketball game. Then I'd have to leave that and go to the studio or the restaurant for 2 hours until midnight. Then I'd have to take down the equipment, and the equipment in those days was not what we operate with nowadays. It was fun, but man, Saturdays were worthless to me. I mean, if I was lucky to wake up to watch college football, that's what I did, but I didn't do anything else.
It's along the lines again of bringing back the Slocum conversation, what we talked about. People in different areas too, but definitely, where we grew up and around Michigan, love high school sports, especially high school football and basketball. So you get those junkies that, on Friday nights, they're going to turn on the Castle, and because you guys would always interview coaches. And I remember even a couple times my senior year, you were at Little Caesars, and we would go to Little Caesars on Friday nights, and we got interviewed a couple times after football and basketball games because you guys were set up there. So that kind of stuff, it is cool.
It really is.
Too bad that kind of stuff isn't around as much as it used to be.
It's a dying medium, really. It really is, unfortunately. But Jared, you brought it up. I'm having as much fun as anything I've ever done. Just doing this thing every week with you guys. I mean, we turn on the mics, we have a little bit of an outline we go off of, but we never know where it's going to take us, and it's fun. I mean, I just enjoy it.
Yeah, good time. 100%. I mean, hey, we wouldn't be doing it for episode 220, man.
220.
220 weeks we've been doing this. That's mind-blowing.
I mean, if somebody's listening for the first time, go online and listen to our little, what would you call it, audition thing we put together?
Pilot episode.
Pilot episode. We've come a little bit.
We should filter that out one of these days, just as a kind of a throwback episode or something.
I'm pretty sure we just recorded that on a phone call.
On my phone, I think.
Horrible, man. Yeah. It was horrible.
Good time. Now we've got a bunch of partners and sponsors and all that. So
we do appreciate all of them for sure. So we'll wrap this thing up. I just do want to send a shout out to the Owasso girls softball team. I didn't jinx them, Jared. They made it to the regionals. They won the district title as their pitcher, Macy Ireland. spanned 36 batters and 2 6-0 wins over Williamston and Hazlitt.
So wait, so 7 innings, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So only 3 of those outs were not from her.
Not strikeouts.
Or not strikeouts.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing, though, fellas. Just looking at this weekend, we're going to be broadcasting on Z92.5 their game against Jackson Northwest. This regional is packed. Owasso's ranked number 4 and defending champions. Northwest is ranked number 2. And in the 10 o'clock game, it's Ionia against Chelsea, who's ranked number 3, and it's their home field. So it is a brutal regional. So we'll see what comes out of it.
The like region of death, like in the World Cup every year.
Yeah, it is.
There's always that region of death that they call it.
So anyway, the Castle will be there live at noon on Saturday for the Owasso and Jackson Northwest game. Joe Smith will join me for that one. We're going to have a lot of fun with it, and we want to wish the Trojans the best of luck. But let's just call this podcast, boys.
Make sure your recorder is rolling.
Yeah, well, this is going to be live on the radio, so I shouldn't have to worry about it this time.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, this has been the 3 Point Podcast presented by Memorial Healthcare, home of the Now Community Wellness Center. Make sure you follow us at 3 Point Pod and spread the word. Make sure all of our great partners know you listen in and enjoy the program. They include Pro Real Estate and Auction, Nelson House Funeral Homes, Rivals Taphouse and Grille, Success Group Mortgage and Servicing, the Wash of Owasso, and the ALS Association of Michigan. Until next time, so long, everybody. Thanks for listening.